So we had you on the phone with us before a couple times, and I wanted to just so you can see us face to face, let you know that it was like I think it was over a year ago. We were really starting. I brought to the radio station One Direction, the music, and I was like, it was over a year ago. It was like November of last year, and I was like, because somebody tweeted me, they said you got to get on One Direction. So I brought in One Direction, and the same person tweeted me and said, hey, you got to get on Ed Sheeran. So it turned out you were coming through town. So I talked to our management. They said, hey, Ed Sheeran's going to come in and jam. We're like, awesome, right? We figured we'd get you on tape before you got famous, way famous. So we make these plans. We're all excited, and then we get a phone call. Hey, Ed had to cancel. He's in Phoenix, but he's going to write music with Taylor Swift. So we thought, that's a pretty darn good excuse, Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't go.
But that's good. But walk us through
Totally
us through what happened that day. Like, what do you do? Do you walk into a conference room with her at a hotel? How do you write songs?
So I was literally, I can't remember which hotel it was. It was kind of more on the outskirts. Do you remember which hotel it was?
Where you met her?
Yeah, there's a...
Biltmore, I think.
Yeah.
The Ritz? The Biltmore?
Biltmore, yeah.
Oh, the actual Biltmore, where all the presidents play golf? Okay.
So I'd been there the night before with Snow Patrol. Like we went out drinking. We drunk quite late, but I wasn't staying there because when we toured very low budget. So I drove back into town to stay at the Best Western. And and then I got back in. I think I was meant to meet up with her at 12, and we were there at like 11:30 because I didn't really want to be late for something like that, and she turned up about 1.
Ooh.
Private jet, you know. Sometimes you get delayed.
I gotcha.
You know.
So she flew in just to write with you.
Yeah. So
Okay,
so we're waiting in the front lobby of this hotel for a long time, thinking that she'd just walk in the front door, and then suddenly we get tapped from behind us from her assistant, being like, "Yeah, Taylor's in the room," and she'd like gone through like these little back alleys, and it was quite cool. So I got in there and knocked on the door. She opened it up. She gave me a hug and was like, "Hi, I'm Taylor," and she had a cat there, as you do. And for the first kind of 2 hours, we didn't touch any guitars or anything. We just put on music, ate hamburgers, and talked. And then we wrote a song, and then I went.
But when you write her song, does she say, okay, so this guy broke my heart. I'm thinking something about trouble. Let's work on the trouble thing. Like, is that how it works? And then
No.
does she have a computer?
No. I mean, because she's a songwriter as well, we kind of come with songs that are kind of half developed. So I came in that day with a guitar riff and a chorus idea, and then we just worked on it from there. Whereas when I went to her house to write a tune, she came with the verse and chorus of a tune, and then we kind of worked it out from there.
So what songs are those? What songs were created?
Everything Has Changed was done at her house, and the one in the hotel. We did 2 in the hotel actually. So yeah, and so because they're her songs, I don't really want to. You know, they have this whole announcing things at certain times, and that's kind of her deal. So I'm going to leave her.
So
with
it's going to come out though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I'd love it to come out.
Well, what about when you're writing and you're collaborating? How do you decide even whose album it gets to go on?
Before we went in, we'd made the decision that it was for. Like sometimes when I go in with someone, I say if the song's good, I'm having it. But because it was Taylor, it's just a massive help for me anyway, just to have a session with her, let alone have her take one of my songs. So I was just like, whatever we do, you can have. Like, it's yours.
That's really cool.
Awesome. Were you going to perform for us too?